Hey everyone, my name is Matt and welcome to today's video. And today's video we're going to be going over my first Strixhaven brew, and it is Prismari Izzet Dragons. This is going to be one of the first decks that I attempt to craft, and hopefully, like all of us, we get lucky in those packs that we first open and pull the rares that we really want to be put into the first decks that we want to be playing. And this is one of mine. Dragons is definitely one of my favourite tribes, and we get some nice dragon stuff in this set. So let's start off by having a look at the creatures, and we're starting off with the new one from Strixhaven. It is the Prismari. It is Galazeth Prismari, 2 blue and a red, 3/4 dragon. It's an elder dragon, has flying. When it ends the battle, create a treasure token, which is going to be great because we have some larger spells, and if we can make some lots of treasures along the way, that's going to really help us cast these potentially a little bit earlier. We're not running the old Simic, we're not running green, which to help us along, as we all know how broken Simic ramp is and stuff like that. But enough about that. This is a dragon. Prismari. Artifacts you control have add 1 mana of any colour. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spells, and we actually do have quite a few of them as well. We have the dragons to beat down, and then we have other spells to hopefully interact well with our dragons and help us keep the way clear for them to fly through to win. That is the plan. This card is great. It's a 3/4 stat flyer for 4, which is really good anyway. It's a legendary creature, so we're just going to run the 3 of these, but I feel like it works on theme with the deck, and it's a new dragon, and it helps me build dragon tribal, so this is why they're smashing straight into this deck. The next card we look at is Goldspan Dragon. This is going in there straight in as a 4 of. This is definitely one of the best creatures that were put in standard recently. Flying haste for 5 mana, 4/4. When it attacks or becomes a target of a spell, create a treasure token. This deck is thematic. You can see it right now. Treasures you control have sacrificed this artifact, add 2 mana of any one colour if the Goldspan Dragon's there. Very good for pumping out bigger spells later on, and also for maybe potentially that, this can protect itself as well by putting those 2 spells down, and maybe if we've got a counter spell in our hand, we can maybe protect it as well. 4 of Terror of the Peaks as well. Just a great big dragon for 5/4 for 5 mana. Spells your opponents cast at target terror, cost an additional 3 life to cast, so it's always going to be hard for an opponent to kill this if they're on very low life, and Terror of the Peaks does a great job of coming in. And the other ability is so special. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Now, we don't have a huge amount of creatures in the deck, but I still think, it's one of the best dragons in the set, and it'd be stupid if I didn't put this in there. People saying, well, why didn't you put Terror of the Peaks in there? Because it's a 5/4 for 5 flying and just does great stuff. Now, we do have obviously other creatures coming in. I've spoke about Galazeth Prismari, we've got Goldspan Dragon, and these all have nice powers. The Goldspan Dragon not being legendary as well really does help out, and obviously Terror of the Peaks as well. We've got 2 more single of dragons in the deck. One is Gadrak, the Crown-Scourge, big 5/4 for 3 mana. Does have the stipulation though that you can't attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts, but in this Prismari decks we can make those artifacts quite easily, so this could be active. Now, I've got this just one in there as a 1-of because I needed space for other spells, and having 2 of these, if we haven't got the artifacts in there because we're cracking them off to maybe play large spells or anything like that, it could just be sort of a dead card to attack with. So we got this one in there, and it'll still do a job. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token with this for each non-token creature that died this turn. But it's a cool dragon along with Shimmer Dragon as well. We've got dragons that work around shiny gold, and if you've ever watched, was it The Hobbit? I think it was. Smaug loved the treasure around him, and obviously these dragons do as well. They love these shiny treasure artifacts. And Shimmer Dragon, as long as you control 4 or more artifacts, it has hexproof. Tap 2 of them and draw a card. 5/6, really cool, big. It's a nice big dragon and will help us in our thematic deck. Now, as we go on to the spells, we're going to be running Snowlands here. So we're going to be running Frostbite because it's just really good. 1 mana removal, 2 damage, target creature or planeswalker. But if we've got 3 or more snow opponents, we do 3 damage for that 1 mana. So we are going to be running Snow Mountains and Snow Islands in there. I've got a single of, I'm testing it out, a single of Test of Talents. I wanted to, but couldn't fit it in there because I wanted a bit more card draw. So this would be in there, counter target instant sorcery spell. but be prepared for this to be up to, as then, when we get to test it. This is just the guide to this deck. Obviously I've not got a chance to play it yet. We would normally do the early access event where I'd play all my subscriber decks or your decks that I would have normally asked to hand in, and I'd be giving these the decks to test out and see how they go. But obviously we all know that was cancelled. It's a big shame for everyone because we all know it's had a lot of fun just getting involved with that. But that's the way I've always found it as well. But these cards we're going to be testing out and see how good. So Test of Talents is in there just as a cheeky little one-off. Expressive Iteration, I like it. 2 mana, sorcery speed. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, one at the bottom of your library, exile one, but you may play the exile card that turn. So potentially you can put one in your hand, and if you can potentially play something like a Frostbite or one of your creatures or something like that as well. We got the ways to make lots of mana with the treasure targets and stuff like that. This could be pretty sweet. We're gonna have that in there as a 3 of. 4 of Prismari Command. We are a Prismari deck, and this makes, not only does it make creature treasure tokens, but it also does lots of other stuff as well. 2 damage to any target. Target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. And we've got a little bit of help with that. The interactions that you'll see in a minute with that as well. And we've also got target player creates treasure token and destroy target artifact. You get to choose 2 of these. I think for 3 mana, sometimes some of them are just going to be, no good to you. But the 2 damage to any target always means you're going to hit a planeswalker or actually just your opponent. So that's never really a dead card. And drawing 2 cards and discarding 2 is sometimes good, with maybe if you're filling up with lands. And of course, we want to make treasure tokens, so this seems like a really good auto-include for the deck. We've got 3 Saw It Coming. They always see it coming when you put it to the side, but counter target spell with Foretell. And then I've got a couple of Behold the Multiverse that I put this in there because I was a bit worried a little bit about card draw. Although we do have the Prismari and the Expressive Iteration, I like a little bit more. And just, put this Foretell to the side, then Scry 2 is always good than drawing cards, but we've only got this in there as a 2 of. Last 2 spells in the deck are from the new set, Strixhaven. Draconic Intervention works so well with this deck. 4 mana. In addition to cast this spell, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Now, we do have Behold the Multiverse that costs 4 mana. The next spell that you see in a minute actually costs 8 mana, so this could be a really good wrath for us. Deals X damage to each non-dragon, and we've just got dragons, where X is the exile card's mana value. If a creature dealt damage they would die, you get to exile instead, then you have to exile the Draconic as well, so you can't get to put one in the bin and then exile it, the next turn for another one or something like that. But we do run this next spell, which is Magma Opus, and this potentially, doing 8 damage to all is a bit of a board wipe for us. So we got Magma Opus. There's a 3 of in there. That is never a dead card, even at 8 mana, because we can pay 2, discard it, and Magma Opus can create a treasure token. So you see, we got treasures coming everywhere for our lovely dragons with their glistening eyes, and they'll be able to just see all that gold and treasure and just be able to hopefully get onto the field a little bit earlier to smash people down. Now, if not, if we've got the mana open, we can play this at instant speed for 8 big mana. It is a mythic, but it does a lot for 8 mana. 4 damage divided as you choose among any numbered targets. Tap 2 target permanents, create a 4/4 blue elemental, and drew 2 cards. Drawing 2 cards as well. 8 mana. You're sinking a lot in there, but hey, it does a lot, doesn't it? It does a lot. Sometimes we'll just be maybe discarding this with the Prismari, get it into the bin so we can Draconic Intervention and wipe a field. But sometimes the dream will be to cast this for 8 mana and get to do all those lovely little abilities just right there. So as we go to the land base here, I do forget to mention I do run 2 Shattergold Smashing in there as well. So that is one of the flip lands. Deals X damage divided you choose among 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. 6 or more, you do twice that damage. So we're going to do one of the flip lands for that as well. We've got Fabled Passage in there, and we've got River Glide. I always call it Riverside Pathway. River Glide Pathway. Already spoke about the snow-covered islands and snow-covered mountains. All the deck lists will be below, so if you want to check this out, and if you get lucky in your packs, you might be able to get this playing on day 1. But Faceless Haven is in there as well, because hey, we're running snow. It comes a 4/3 creature with vigilance and all creature types until end of turn. It's a dragon. But yeah, we're going to have an extra bit of attacking in there because we do run minimal creatures. So we're going to run this just as a 2 of as well. There's 23 lands plus 2 flip lands, so that'd be 25 lands in total for the deck. So it's been a while since I've actually just done a deck tech without the gameplay, but I wanted to get this out there before obviously the release. I think the release when this will come out is possibly tomorrow, and then hopefully going to get some games on Twitch and play this and pull some packs and everything like that, and hopefully get towards building this deck, because we all know the economy. Have no fears, I'm going to be doing lots of budget decks with Strixhaven as well, so they will be coming to you over the next weeks, so sit back and enjoy them as well. But this is a deck that I really want to give a go and, you know, just see how good it is. It looks a fun deck. It might be good, it might be bad, but to me it's going to be fun to play, and I feel like it's got some great, you know, great synergy and some great interactions here, and Prismari Izzet Dragons is going to be fun to play. Just want to give a big shout out to all my Patreons. If that's something you're interested in, you want to support me and help me, you know, even further than you do by liking and commenting on the videos, check that out. I really do appreciate that extra support. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed the deck, let me know any ideas you might have for it. Subscribe if you're new, of course. Anyway, you lot take care, and I'll see you on the next video.